Yeah, Gavin, we had some Stadia stuff happen.
Got some Stadia stuff.
Did you watch it when it was happening, or just catch up
No.
afterwards?
Was it really only just 3 minutes?
It was, yeah. It was pretty quick. I came up here, watched it, and yeah, it was like half hour.
Half hour?
I feel like
sorry, I meant 3 minutes.
no, it was a good. I want to say half hour 20 maybe, but I don't know the exact time. But it did feel quick. But they were kind of blasting through the little news they had, and kind of showed some stuff off. At the end, what was interesting is they showed just a huge like splash screen of all the developers that they have support for them. But they kind of quickly went through that when they could have spent more time maybe fleshing those things out. But
Right. Well, I mean, and we've seen people do that before when it's not really there. Like, how many times has Nintendo pulled that trick where they show 1,000 developers working on games for the Wii U?
Gotcha.
And what did we get?
Right. Yeah. So I did pull up some details on it. So we have a November release date. That was one thing they didn't have before, is an actual time frame. They have a November release date. We got price point. So a couple different price points, right? It's kind of interesting. So they have the Google Stadia Founders Edition that comes out at launch, and that is for $129. You get Chromecast Ultra, which is their 4K HD streaming thing, and then you get a controller, which is their branded controller. 3 months of the Stadia Pass, which allows you to download games that are free, and then you get a discount on additional games as they come out. Yeah, and then they have Stadia Pro, which is a subscription service. That's $9.99 a month, and that also gives you the same access to their games. Kind of like the like Game Pass has their games. Once you're subscribed, you have the access to those games.
So that was the part that kind of had me confused. Was I thought paying a subscription was like minimum to use the service.
Right, but there's another tier where they have, and it's not at launch, but they're looking to get it before the end of the year. It's a free subscription. Where it's a free format where you get access to a certain amount of games for free, and you can play them just regardless, no matter what. And then you have the option to buy games after that. But
right out the gate, you have to do $10.
Yeah, right out of the gate, rather, at least $10 a month. I've been reading conflicting stuff where it seems like the Stadia Founders Edition is the only way to play right when it launches. And then at a certain point, you can do the $9.99. That's what it seems like, but I could be wrong. I couldn't find a definite answer. But for the most part, the free thing is something that's coming. So 2020 is when Stadia Base. That's their free model. Although the free model is interesting because then there's really almost no barrier to entry. You have a dusty controller somewhere, plug it in, and bam, you're in. You're playing free games. What those games are, I'm not sure, but they have enough old games. I'm sure they can have on the service to kind of get you in there.
Well, and here's the other question too: is like how much does that? So what's the Chromecast? Whatchamacallit, the HD Pro or whatever?
Yeah, the Chromecast Ultra is the 4K one.
Can you look up how much that costs?
So it runs for $69.99 on its own.
Okay, so it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So you get that. You get a controller.
The controller's $69 as well on its own. So you're already passing the 129 mark, and then you have 3 months of that Chromecast of the Stadia Pro subscription included in that.
Well, and I want to say you also get like Destiny 2 Everything Edition.
Interesting. I know that's a part of the Stadia Pro subscription.
Yeah.
That might also be included. You might be right on that.
I think that was. Well, I didn't think it was part of the Pro subscription.
Only the founders. I'll figure that out. Let's pull that up. But but also they have this thing that's included with the Founders Edition. It's like a buddy program where if you don't have it, say, and I bought that Founders Edition, I can gift you, I don't know if it's the full 3 months, but I can gift you a certain amount of time to play for free as well.
People using other people's streaming services?
This is like the only legit version of that I've seen. Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's nothing really to stop anyone from, besides the ability to play with someone in real time, but I could be like, well, I'm done. Here's my login info. Play, knock yourself out. But you can do that.
I guess it's not like Netflix in that sense, because with Netflix, like, you have how many people using the same thing at once. It doesn't stop you from using it.
Right.
Multiple units.
I'm going to look up the
Hulu certainly doesn't. I remember when my Hulu account was being shared by like 200 people.
Oh, dang.
It didn't warn me until and I looked back at how long they've been using it for.
Yeah.
And it was like many years. So it's like, Hulu, why didn't you warn me like sooner? Why was it when we hit 200 that you're like, hey, I think people might be using your account without you knowing, dude?
I wonder if they're just like, hey, we can mark this as a different user. So we want this to be like, just turned and burned as many times as possible, because on their end, they can go to their shareholders and say, yeah, 200 people just signed up. And any details on that? Nope. Let's just move on.
We have so many active users. It is insane.
Right.
Well, the other surprising thing, too, is it's like, hey, we think other people may be using your account. It's like, yeah, 200 people are using my account. Do you not have a problem with that? Did you not want to stop this?
Right.
Like, you were just going to let me say, like, yeah, that's fine. They're all...
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind that. But.
Apparently, no one should ever have to pay for Hulu. Just one person.
One person, just carries the load, and we all just jump on their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was actually a really good sketch. I forget who did that. I think it may have been SNL about like trying to get the password to like HBO Go. And it's like people going through a chain, and it goes up to like Barack Obama, who's like getting it from the Pope or something like that.
That's awesome. So any takeaways from that conference, just right off the bat? Do you feel positive, negative, in the middle still? Anything change on your view of Stadia?
I don't know. I wish I'd been able to see the full 30 minutes and not just like the 3-minute. But from what I can tell, the amount of details, it's like, well, why was this not? Where did they announce it? Last month? 2 months ago?
2 months ago, I want to say. It was GDC.
Why was this not one press conference?
You're right. Maybe they wanted it's all about the hype. They wanted to kind of stay in people's minds around E3. They're getting into the game industry. I don't know. You're right.
Right. And I guess, yeah, at GDC, you can at least get developers on board. That is the point of GDC. Well, one of the points. But yeah, it really felt like this did not add to the hype at all.
Interesting. I think I'm slightly more hyped than before.
You're more hyped.
Yeah, okay. I'm not like take off my shirt, run around, but I'm more like I'm taking my pants off. I'm getting comfortable. I'm intrigued, is what I guess I'd say. But it's the only issue is I wish I could try this day one without buying their special controller. That's my only downside. And I'm hoping the Stadia Pro subscription you can start doing that, because I'll give them $10 a month. I'll give them easily for this. Like that's not bad. That's totally doable. And that does give you access to the 4K 60 frame per second ability to stream. And then if you get that free model that we were talking about, you get it's like 1080p, 720p, something like that. It's just very basic, even if you have a higher internet speeds.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I'm pretty. I'm more intrigued, on it for sure than I was before. I think they can. There's just a lot of potential here, or this just crash and burns and we forget about it. But there is a lot of potential with what they're trying, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's less barrier to entry for them as a business. They don't have to produce any hardware or manufacture any hardware. So there's less money they have to put into it. They have these servers located all around the country anyways, around the world.
Well, to be fair, that is the hardware, though. Or you mean that's the customers don't?
No, I mean, they do. You're right. But that's hardware they have in place.
And that's very expensive hardware.
No, you're totally right. But that's hardware I guess they'd have in place already, right, for streaming purposes anyways. Like, well, I guess I'm thinking of their servers, not their hardware for doing the game, a streaming part of it, right? Because they actually had to get that going.
Yes.
I want to say there is stats on like behind the scenes. They have these various like hardware things set up to actually stream these games. So it's not like it's just coming out of nowhere.
Right.
But, so there is money put into that. But I think still way less than having a manufacturer pump out all these different parts and somebody assembles them and then they sell it and they hope that and then they have to work with, not Toys R Us or Blockbuster, but like whatever leftover, big box retailers.
Those are the first two that came to your mind.
Those are the first thing. I'm gonna drink my Jolt Cola.
Not T-Rex Mart or
yeah,
Caveman Corner.
Let's start a local bodega called Caveman Corner.
Caveman Corner. Where everything is paleo.
There you go. We're onto something. But yeah, I feel like there's just less risk on their hand compared to an actual new company jumping in and creating like an actual console.
Right. I mean, Google's also made of money, so how much real risk? Like they've put out more failures.
They do, and they're quick
really not giving a fuck.
Nope, and they're quick to pull support on stuff quickly as well. So that's a lot of criticism people are having with them.
Except for what was their social thing?
Oh, the Google Plus. They just recently like started dwindling that.
Finally gave it up.